for years. I can't even count how many years. But we are restoring an old, it's what they call a 1660. It's a 16-foot low aluminum boat with a 60-inch bottom. They're very rare to get. You can't hardly find one. If you want to try to get one, a new one, you're going to spend probably around $11,000 for just a blank shell boat before you put any accessories on it. And they're hard to find. I found this one in Louisiana. I live here in Fort Worth, Texas. But if you can find one and you got the patience, it don't take much. It's just a lot of labor intense, sanding and grinding and buffing, and some small repair like this one. I made a lot of modifiers on it because I'm probably going to be my last boat I'll ever build. So I'm building it the way my wife and I like it, so we can run in 2 to 3 inches of water. And I've got a what they call a surface drive motor I'm probably going to put on it. And if that's not a big enough engine, then I have a 50 horse and a 90 horse. I have made a lot of modifications on it to accommodate a 90 horse. Most time you don't need one that big. And my wife's already screaming and said that little 25 horse surface drive is all we need, but I'll probably end up upgrading it to at least a 40 horse. But for right now, I'm going to just show you some of the things that we've done and what we're going to do, how simple and easy it is to rebuild your own aluminum boats to your own specifications. Now, I've done a lot of the welding myself because I do have an aluminum MIG welder. And if you have to have it done, it can get pretty expensive. MIG welders on aluminum, they charge quite a bit. But I was fortunate enough that I know a lot about welding, and I have all the equipment I had to do to make the modifications. Some of the products I'm going to show you, I'm out of a couple of them, and they'll be in a few days. I had to order some more. And I need that to do, like, when you have holes in the boat and low spots, it's like a Bondo. They call it a fairing product, and it lets you bring it out smooth again and straighten it out and seal your leaks up. But I'll get into that later as we get started into the video showing you what we're doing on it. And be sure to subscribe and comment if you'd like. I spend a lot of time on this boat. Right now I've probably got 2 weeks time into it. I'm the only one that works on it, and I've done the most of the repairs. I've got the sanding part started on the first stage. You'll do 3 stages of sanding on this one. This one has like 5 to 6 coats of paint and sealers. I don't know what all they put on it, but they used it for a commercial boat down there in Louisiana. It looked like they used it for crab baskets because it had a spot down in the bottom made to accommodate one of those little porta cranes. And it looked like they did that and crawfish. And I guess I don't know why they got rid of it. I know it was in pretty bad shape, but myself, I don't mind working on the old boats and bring them back up to new. So if you enjoy this video, just sit back and be sure and give us a comment. What I'd like to do right now is go over you with a few of the products that I use and the basic tools that it takes to redo this. It don't take that much equipment to do it unless you have to do a bunch of welding, and which I did do a lot of welding on it. But your basic grinding equipment and sanders is what you see right here. I have the little Palm rotary sander, variable speed. It works really good. I usually run a 80 to 100 grit sandpaper on it for my finished product, and I just use that regular 80 grit. You can buy it at any store. I got this here last time down at the Harbor Freight, and it seems to work just as good. It's going down to Lowe's and paying twice as much for it. Then I have a right angle grinder, 4.5 inch, and I've got a 60 grit on it. And that is my first one that I use for sanding, because you got to get through that old layers of paint. And if you hold it nice and flat, it'll actually pull all that old paint off. Just don't want to dig into the aluminum too deep. And if you get it to really stubborn paint that won't come off with sanding, revert to one of these wire brushing wheels. They have several different types you can use. If it's real hard paint, sometimes I use the stiff core wire one. Then there's a soft bristle brush that I use to polish out with. That works really nice to pull all your squirrel marks and scratches out with, because it's real soft. The only thing is, those little wires will come off and get you. You need to make sure you wear a long sleeve shirt and a face shield. And then I have also a semi-flat one that I use for buffing and polishing, and it works really good. And then here is the 60 grit that we use, disc. Like I say, some of these come from Harbor Freight, and they last forever. You don't wear them out that fast like you would using the regular sandpaper pads on your orbital sander. And some of your tight places, you'll want to use some of these little ones like that just fit in a drill, like